Welcome to the Prophecy Club. Our topic today is, what would God say to America? In other words, if America could actually hear the voice of God, what would he say to America? Well, I'm going to say to you that God actually is talking to America. It's just that America doesn't recognize that it's God talking because they would expect some kind of an audible voice to come from the heavens. That's not what they're getting. The nation that got that at the base of Mount Sinai was when Moses had brought them there. And then when they heard the voice of God, they said, don't have him speak to us again. They were scared. And that was the last time God spoke to them audibly as a group. So how does God speak to a nation today? Today, I'm going to show you how God speaks to a nation, specifically how he's talking to America. First article says, what's behind all the giant hail that has pelted the South? The Fox Forecast Center said an unusually strong subtropical jet stream in combination with a flow from a massive upper-level low over the Great Lakes and plenty of moisture were the root causes for the event. And I'm going to say baloney. That's not the cause. The real cause, the real cause is the sin in America that reaches the throne of God, and the devil's always there. He stands there before the God, Revelation says, before the throne day and night, accusing the brethren. So the devil is up there constantly saying, look what your church is doing. See how they hate you. See how they sin. I should be allowed to do this and such. And so as America falls into the sin, God allows the devil to bring the judgment. Now, you may be saying, yeah, well, the devil doesn't have power to send hail. Oh, yes, he does. It's called scalar wave. My guess is that there's more than one of them. There may be 2 or 3 or 4 of them. They don't have to be on the surface. They can be underneath the earth. They go right through metal, right through water, right through rock, whatever it is. And there's some people that believe they can even affect the sun, moon, and the stars. It can knock down, destroy anything in the air, on the land, on the sea, under the sea, any place on the globe they want to, anytime they want to. And it may even be able to affect things in outer space. Yeah, like the moon and the sun and the moon and the stars. It may be what causes that. It can make large portions of the atmosphere super hot or super cold. Well, what can they do with that? They can make tornadoes, they can make cold storms, rainstorms, thunderstorms. They can start fires with it. And so that's your real climate change. It's not climate change. It is man's use of scalar wave, high technology that was given to them by Nikola Tesla back in the 50s, okay? Now let's move on. Next article, the temperature rise in the Atlantic Ocean is unprecedented and millions of fish are at risk. It's more than just fish. It's humans are at risk. Now, yes, God can cause this, but I don't think this is God. I think this is the sins of America specifically and the world in general that have reached the throne, and God has allowed them to use their scalar wave to bring these problems. Why is the Atlantic Ocean becoming dangerously warm? This is a question that a lot of marine scientists are thinking about right now. Temperatures in some areas of the Atlantic have risen to levels that we've literally never seen before. You better believe that. And everyone agrees that this could not have happened by chance. I agree, which is why I started reading this article. It's not by chance. What is going to happen to marine life in the Atlantic if temperatures keep going up? What will hurricane season look like with such elevated water temperatures? According to the Communist News Network, there are certain areas of the Atlantic Ocean where water temperatures have been 9 degrees warmer than normal. Temperatures in parts of the North Atlantic Ocean are soaring off the charts, with an exceptional marine heat wave happening off the coast of the United Kingdom and Ireland, sparking concerns about impacts on marine life. Parts of the North Sea are experiencing a Category 4 marine heat wave, defined as extreme. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, in some areas, water temperatures are up 5 degrees Celsius hotter than usual. Again, this is the kind of thing that scalar wave can do. It also can make the large areas of the water get hotter or cooler. Global oceans have been exceptionally warm for months. April and May saw the highest ocean surface temperatures for those 2 months since records began in 1850. See, this whole thing called climate change, the objective is to give them a world government with their man, the Antichrist, sitting on the throne, with every knee bowing, every tongue confessing that he is God. And if they have to destroy the world to do it, that's exactly what they will do. One of them told Benjamin Fulford, we've ruled this planet for thousands of years and we will destroy it rather than give it up. I'm going to say that they would be saying, they will destroy it if you don't give us our new world order. Well, the Bible says they're going to destroy it anyway. You may not be alarmed by this, but you should be. Because of what happens to our ocean matters to every man, woman, and child on the entire planet. On June 18th, the average sea surface temperature in the North Atlantic hit a staggering 23.1 degrees Celsius. The situation is unprecedented. Since March 5th of 2003, the average sea surface temperature of the North Atlantic has been breaking records, reaching a high of 23.1 Celsius as of June 18th. Never before, in the over 42 years of record keeping, have North Atlantic sea surface temperatures reached this high. Scalar wave. They're pushing to get their Antichrist on the throne. We truly have never seen anything like this before, and there is no way that this happened by chance. I totally agree. According to one expert, the odds of this happening naturally are extremely low. It's not happening naturally. According to this guy, the chances of global sea surface temperatures reaching this high are now 1 in 256,000. This is beyond extraordinary. Many in the mainstream media want to blame climate change for what is happening. But climate change has supposedly been happening for decades, and we've never seen ocean temperatures spike anywhere like this. Some experts claim that a lack of dust, stupid, the lack of dust from Africa is causing more sunlight to hit the Atlantic than usual. But that theory just is really flimsy. It's foolishness. Ultimately, I believe that what is happening to the Atlantic Ocean is what is happening to the Pacific Ocean. Underwater volcanoes. No, it's not underwater volcanoes. In fact, one team of researchers recently discovered a sprawling field of massive hydrothermal vents in the middle of this. Not hydrothermal vents. It's a scalar wave. As seismic activity continues to escalate, marine life in the Atlantic will be slowly cooked from below. Now, I've covered this many times before. Essentially, it works like this. And it doesn't even take a lot of power. Okay, so they have these antenna arrays located in various places on the surface and I believe also under the surface. Maybe even some under the water, who knows? It sends a wave around the planet, we'll say east to west. And another one sends it like south to north. And when they converge, it causes that. They can make small or large areas of the atmosphere super hot or super cold. They can start fires. They can take out missiles, which is the reason Russia, they are not worried about anything we put in the air, whether it's our most advanced fighter, our most advanced missile, our most advanced nuke. They can take them all out. It can act like an umbrella over a city, over a state, or over an entire nation. And America doesn't have it. Already dead fish are washing up on our shores in very alarming numbers. Thousands of dead fish washed up on the Gulf of Texas over the weekend, and massive globs of seaweed carrying plastic pollution infested with fish-eating bacteria are raising public health concerns at Florida's famous beaches. All of this to get their man Antichrist on the throne. Like a cat leaving a mangled rat on the doorstep, the oceans seem to be trying to get our attention. It's not the oceans. It's the devil with his scalar wave. We should not underestimate the magnitude of this problem. According to one expert, the Atlantic Ocean is definitely on fire. The Atlantic is definitely on fire. He goes on to say, I would take my statements like that very seriously. Unfortunately, most Americans aren't interested in such warning. Look, as long as they can watch their American Idol, they can go to the ball game, they can be entertained, they can have their bowl of ice cream, We don't have to worry about that. Besides that, we're going to pre-trib rapture, right? Right? Well, what if they're wrong? What if all of this does hit and we are still here? Revelation 11:18 says, "And the nations were angry, and the wrath has come." This is talking about the Feast of Trumpets, the day Jesus returns. "And the time of the dead that they should be judged, and thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, both small and great." Here it is. "And shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth." Scalar wave has the capability of destroying the earth, even more so than all of the thousands of nuclear weapons we have. Billie Meier has photos and videos. Now, he's famous for having these photos and videos of UFOs, but I'm not talking about that. I want you to notice the yellow writing that says, "Edward Meier imparts their fascinating esoteric teachings and wisdom to us and assists them in their monumental task of guiding Earth, mankind, back to the path that we left so long ago." In other words, these UFOs are filled with demons, and they're going to come, and they'll probably land down on the lawn, maybe even your lawn, not just the White House lawn, pop the hatch and say, "Here we are," as simple as that. Then they'll come out with all kinds of wonderful technologies and wonderful healings and all kinds of super things that have been hidden and withheld from us. Some of them we developed, some they developed. But then they're also going to come out with the Bible. Perhaps you heard about this, that the artificial intelligence, the chatbot, is in the process of writing a new Bible that will be a truthful Bible. Going to scrap that old King James stuff, right? This is proving to you that what the UFO brothers are is they're demons. That's my point of bringing this to you. You remember Dmitri said the fall of America will start with an internal revolution in America started by the communists. As further confirmation of that, Terry Bennett was told that the military will step in and seize control of our federal government. All of this is part of a plan to try to save America, which sadly it won't work. Now let me go to some newspaper headlines. They bring a little good news, but they also paint some pictures that are pretty scary. John Paul Jackson had these prophetic news headlines given to him, and this was back, I don't have the date, it was I don't know, 18 years ago. One headline says, "Does God play softball? Hail the size of softballs are destroying thousands of homes and autos." The article says, "Severe storm threat impacts 1,600 miles." 1,600 miles? 1,600 miles. That's not God. That's not normal weather. That's scalar wave. 1,600 miles devastating damage reported in Matador, Texas. Watches for severe storms stretched for more than 1,600 miles Wednesday. A severe storm produced tornadoes and strong winds that knocked out power to nearly 500,000 of Texas alone. Law enforcement Matador, Texas confirmed damage after the tornado ripped through the city. Lubbock Fire and Rescue were called to the town to help with search and rescue operations. Multiple tornadoes were seen moving through northeast Colorado, including a land spout in Sterling. And that's not the end. A land spout over northeastern Colorado. This is a different place. June 21, as the storms moved through Colorado, golf ball size hail seen. Hail that fell over North Sterling State Park in northeastern Colorado. Additionally, flash flooding was issued in Colorado. Colorado Springs Fire Department conducted multiple water rescues as high waters. Okay, the story goes on. A black SUV stuck in floodwater in Colorado as white hailstones float on the water's surface. In an image above, a black SUV is struck in floodwater as tiny as white hailstones float around it. Colorado Springs Fire Departments have asked drivers to avoid the area. Nearly 500,000 people are without power in Texas Wednesday. Nearly 500,000 customers in Texas without power on Wednesday evening as severe storms ripped through the state. Oh, it's climate change. No, it's not. It's Russian, but I don't think it's just the Russians that have it. But it is definitely the Russians have Russian scalar wave. Strong winds were reported in Houston, which, by the way, we have an offer going right now where you can go to watchprophecyclub.com and you can, well, here, let me just put it in. Now, this is the offer that I suggest you get. Each one of these 5 DVDs, 2.5 hours each about, used to be offered for $30. Right now, you can get all 5 of them at prophecyclub.com, the DVDs, for a gift of $100. But the better deal would be for you to go to to Watch Prophecy Club right here, watchprophecyclub.com. If you'll enter the promo code TPC 2023, you'll get the first month free. Means you can watch all 5 of these for free. What a deal, huh? And a better deal. Go to the TPC 2023 with a Y at the end. You get a $20 off on the normal $200 annual plan. That's the best deal. This is like $6,000 or $7,000 worth of DVDs. Took us 25 years to make them, all at watchprophecyclub.com. Did you get that? Watch instantly at watchprophecyclub.com. Okay, so back to the article. Strong winds reported in Houston just before the power went out. In Motley County, the location of the Matador tornado, the whole country reported without power as of late Wednesday evening. Tornado, severe thunderstorm watches issued. A graphic showing tornado. Okay, you get the point here. The severe thunderstorm risk in southern plains on Wednesday, June 21. Many areas hit by storms on Wednesday. An area stretching from southeastern Wyoming to northeastern New Mexico. It's not just one place. It's all over. But that's the reason I think they have more than one scalar wave machine. My guess is they have 2 or 3, maybe 4 or 5. So let's go to some of the headlines because I think they bring a different insight, but they also bring a little bit of good news. Earthquakes. Now, I've put these together in kind of categories. First thing is earthquakes. The Washington monument tilts more. Delays announced to other monument repairs. To me, what that's saying is that there is a big earthquake that is going to hit, just like we've had Michael Boldea and several other people tell us that there's a big earthquake coming. Big enough to make the Washington monument tilt. Now, in my opinion, it's too bad it doesn't just fall over and break into 1,000 pieces. What it represents is the male sexual member, which is what the Moloch and Baal worshipers worship. This is a false god that should not be erected in America. The Great Divide, the new normal on the Mississippi River. Again, this is talking about a picture after a great earthquake hits America. As you recall, 13 people now have been told, or some dreams, some visions, some angel visits, that if America splits Israel, God is going to split America. Volcano erupts near Tokyo. 7 million dead, another million missing. That's all part of the movements of the earth. And that could be caused from sin. It also could be caused from scalar wave. The North Pole is now found in North Russia. Obviously, the earth is tilting. Scalar wave can do that. GPS loses its GPS. How long until we know where we are? You know, I said to my wife the other day, we live in the Dallas area, and of course these days you just put in an address, push a button, and your car tells you, or your GPS tells you where to go. And in Dallas, I use that a whole lot. And I said to Leslie that day, I said, you know, we need to get a paper map, because when the GPS goes down, I would still like to be able to find my way around, because I don't think I could. A lot of places I go, I mean, without GPS, I'd be lost. So, yeah, she's actually looking into getting us some paper maps. It used to be, back in the 70s, you could get a Mapsco, a little spiral ring book that had the whole area. Well, we need something like that for all of America. Anyway, let's go on. Food. Blight in grains spreading. Now, let me take a second. You remember the 7 years of plenty, and then followed by the 7 years of famine that came to Pharaoh and to Joseph. The world lived off of wheat for 7 years. Yes, there's other places where you can get long-term emergency food, but you're talking $9,000 or $10,000 to feed one person for 1 year. Say it again. $9,000 to $10,000 to feed one person for 1 year. And it's not always very good to eat. One guy emailed me and said, yeah, well, I opened up some of that long-term storage food, and this was a couple of years ago, before Joseph Kitchen started. He said, I couldn't get my family to eat it. So, yeah, you need to have food that they can actually and will eat. But at Joseph Kitchen, what they do is they have a warehouse full of wheat and everything you need. They can place it in order for you right now today. As a matter of fact, if you call early in the afternoon, the order goes out before the even close of day. And what they do is send you wheat berries, which you then put into a grinder, push a button, 30 seconds later you have flour. And then you put that into a bread machine along with 5 or 6 other ingredients, push a button, 2 hours and 20 minutes later, you have a nice hot steaming loaf of whole wheat bread. Now, most of you have never even tasted whole wheat bread. You can't buy it in the store. Yes, I know the store. You can find loaves and it says whole wheat bread. You've been to a restaurant and they say whole wheat bread. It's not whole wheat bread. Not like you can make at home. And you can make it taste like anything you want it to taste like. You want it to taste like chocolate? There's recipes for that. Anyway, you take that whole wheat bread out, slice it into 14 slices, and I've discovered a slice in the morning, a slice in the afternoon, and I can keep playing all day long. And I always eat a slice before I go play racquetball. I have tried all kinds of potions and lotions and sports drinks and pills and things like that to try to get the old man to keep up with the young guys. And the best thing that helps me is a slice of whole wheat bread. Really? Yes. It's chock full of B vitamins, and that's what your body needs to have strength. I actually feel stronger when I eat a slice of bread before I go play. Now, Joseph Kitchen can show you how to feed your family for about $1,000 for one person for 1 year. $1,000, one person for 1 year. And the food the wheat berries don't need refrigeration. They're nitrogen packed. They're good for years. We want to be able to stay like 25 years packed in nitrogen. They're going to last a long time. In my opinion, it is the best way to have long-term storage food. These are about to say that there's going to be a food shortage. There's going to be a food shortage. Go to josephskitchen.com. josephkitchen.com. All you have to do is make 2 decisions. You make a decision, definitely get yourself a machine package. Everybody needs a machine package. That's the wherewithal to grind the wheat and make the bread, the machine part of it, mechanical part of it. Then you decide how much food you want. You want 1 person for a year, 2 people for a year, 4 people a year, 6 people for a year, and then you order that, comes in. Good to go. Good to go. Go check it out, josephskitchen.com. And I think if you put in a promo code of Prophecy Club, there's a discount in there someplace. Anyway, food, blight and grains spreading. Record high temps accompany record drought swept south. I don't know if that's this year or next year. I can tell you that I get the Kansas wheat crop report, and they're saying that it's down about 24%, as I recall, maybe 27%. Drought continues to cause prayer to rise. Demand for classic seeds skyrocket. Why do they want classic seeds? Because the seeds that you buy at the store are not growable again. They will grow one time, then you take those seeds from that year, you plant them, and they don't come up because they're hybrid. That's what they're saying, classic seeds. Food, which, by the way, Joseph Kitchen are classic seeds. You can plant them and they grow. As a matter of fact, their supplier is the supplier for other farmers to plant wheat from. They are a wheat supplier. Anyway, food prices lead nations escalating inflation woes. Right now, prices for wheat are pretty good. Rest assured, they're going to go up. Cisco Kraft considers guards on delivery trucks as food nears 40% of the family budget. Do you remember Jason Meeks had a dream where he saw that people were robbing these food trucks, and they had to actually start carrying food to the various grocery stores in UPS painted trucks so that they wouldn't get robbed. The new face of Robin Hood. Flash mobs loot rich neighborhoods. I'm saying, get yourself prepared, get yourself prepared, get yourself prepared. Military. Military cuts number of soldiers. Of course, that makes perfect sense. Since we now know that the Russians are going to attack us, the devil would want us to have fewer soldiers. Nuclear disaster under the high seas. Probably some kind of a submarine. Does that make sense? Ocean temperature rise spreading, millions of fish dying. Well, I wonder what would cause that. Oh, climate change, right? Scalar wave. Where's the Navy? Why didn't we see it coming? I don't know. Maybe it's a submarine. Maybe it's an attack from the oceans. I don't know. Mark of the beast, loss of identity, the cost to belong to the new Euro community. You know what they're saying right now? They're talking about doing this. They're talking about having an ID system for your, I started to say that V word, for the anti-V, okay? And also an ID system for you to access your digital computer system, which is, of course, all going to be connected to that cell phone. Finance. Big regulations hit small banks. Now, 6 months ago, that would have been a little surprising. Today, we're kind of expecting that to hit. Credit markets freeze up. We've got 2 or 3 prophecies that says that. Now, think about that. If all of a sudden all of the banks were to stop lending, what would happen? Our nation would grind to a screeching halt. And it wouldn't take but just a few days. The new face of Robin Hood, flash mobs loot rich neighborhoods. We read that in another place. Cyber attack, cripples grid, multiple collapses with restart efforts. Someone asked me the other day, so how come you got a solar system? Because I believe the prophets say that our grid is going to go down, and not just one. We got several of those prophecies. I need to count up how many prophecies we got saying the grid is going to go down, but it's several. And when the grid goes down, I want to have electricity. It's as simple as that. I mean, it's not just about having electricity to have your air conditioners running, but it is about electricity to have your refrigerators running, your computer running, and things like that. Cyber attack cripples grid. You know that there was just a recent attack, an attempted attack to do exactly that. Derivative panic hits global markets. We're looking at big changes financially because they want to get their man on the throne. Internal revolution. Washington, D.C. riots continue. Chicago up in arms. Death toll mounts. New United America being pushed. Canada, Mexico, and USA in talks. Why? Because they want to divide the 7 continents into 10 global regions. They want to make Canada, Mexico, and the United States one global region, which, by the way, we already know from the Club of Rome that's put out a map, and it is region number 1. New Year's terror. Out with the new, in with the old. Terror. New Year terror. What's that? Out with the new. It probably means that the new ways of celebrating the new year are no good. Probably they're saying that we don't want to have the big gatherings and celebrations. That's just a guess. Record set for a number of cities with riot curfews. Well, how many prophecies we got about riots and curfews? Several. Martial law to be extended for 30 more days. There's trouble just around the corner, and we should get prepared for it. The first thing to do, ask Jesus to forgive your sins. Scalar wave, climate change, 3 planes down from solar tsunami, search continues. You know, I just put out an article just a few months ago that they're expecting this big solar tsunami to hit. And here we are in the summer. Maybe this one hits, I don't know. Israel, more explosions in Tel Aviv, radioactive traces found. Well, if you go to the bottom one there, Mecca would be hit within minutes if Israel says if missiles hit Jerusalem, Mecca would be hit within minutes. Now we know that one of the prophecies from Leslie said that oil will be discovered in Israel, The oil will make the Jews willing to fight for their land. And the Bible says that Israel's going to get back all of their territory. And that is from the Nile all the way over to the Euphrates. And it probably includes all, or at least most of, Saudi Arabia involved in that. See, what a lot of people don't realize is when Abraham was told that I will give the land to you, every place the sole of your foot touches, he also made that same promise to Moses. Well, Moses walked around Saudi Arabia for some 40 years. So that means that from the Nile all the way over to the Euphrates, and probably including Saudi Arabia, is actually all Israel's land. And I don't think that's going to be handed to them in the millennium. I think that's going to be handed to them probably in the next few years.
I'm Leslie, owner and founder of Joseph's Kitchen, and I want to show you how to make healthy, homemade, whole wheat bread for only a few $100s a year.
At Joseph's Kitchen, our ingredients have been packaged for immediate use or long-term storage. Go to josephskitchen.com or call the number on your screen to order today. Don't get caught unprepared. Go to josephskitchen.com now.
Terry Saka, cornerstone asset metals.com. So why should people go online or call you today?
Seymour Hersh, an amazing investigative journalist, laid out the case that the United States is the one that blew up the Nord Stream pipelines, hurting our very own allies. That is a nation that is desperate because their currency is on the verge of losing reserve status. That's not good for a United States dollar, and why we better be protected.
Terry Saka, cornerstoneassetmetals.com. Give him a call or go online today. cornerstoneassetmetals.com. Next is, I'll send you to EMPShield.com. If you use the promo word prophecy, you get a $50 discount. What is that? Well, it looks like this. This is the one that goes into a car, okay? And you put the red wire to the red side of the battery, you put the black wire to the black side of the battery, and the green one attaches to the body of the car. Then you peel it off right back here. Just peel that off, stick it inside of the engine compartment of your car. And the whole point is when the electricity goes off, or when some kind of a suitcase nuke or a nuclear device goes off, this is supposed to be able to stop that device from destroying every computer chip in your car. Because if every computer chip is destroyed in your car these days, you couldn't possibly replace them all. Throw the car away. So, EMPShield.com, promo code PROPHECY.